Yeah, hello, my fellow audio engineering practitioners, and welcome to my audio engineering tips with Stephen Aluko. That is the name of the group forum. And the forum is tagged Guides to Professional Audio Engineering Practices. Like I said in the introduction, that I'll be giving you some few tips in video form. And this is the beginning. This is the first maiden edition of the Professional Audio Engineering Practices Guide. Now, today on tip one, I'm going to be talking about fundamentals of audio. Now, my mode of giving this tip is like I'm going to be giving you some topical issues in a slide form and majorly to explain it, either with pictures, diagrams, and everything like that. And that is where we are going to start. So let me quickly give you the slide that according to what I normally do in class. All right. Now, the first tip is fundamentals of audio. And in this tip, I'll be talking about audio. First, I will define audio. Second, I will talk about types of signals that we work with. And lastly, I'll be talking about state of sound. That is how sound exists in the space and how we perceive them and what happened in between. Let's kick off. Now I'll start with what is audio. I put it like this, like audio is that branch of technology concerned with the recording, transmission, and reproduction of sound. That is what we do most of the time. It starts with recording, transmission, that is, we send a signal from one place to the other, and also reproduction of sound. That is, we bring in sound and we reproduce it and take it out from the output. So the study of audio involves elements from the science of sound, waves, acoustics, electronic, and psychoacoustics. Those are the areas that are concerned with what with study of what of audio. Now, this mix of elements from both the art and sciences, spanning broad areas of technology and entertainment, is what makes audio engineering such a fascinating field of study. At least if you look at it, you know that audio is vast. It is not only about technology, it's about science also, and also an art. And that is what is telling us here. Now, audio is the representation of sound electrically or by various methods of media. That is, there is sound and there is audio. So what I'm saying here is that audio itself is a representation of sound electronically or by various methods of media. It might be saved on CD, it might be saved on what? On magnetic media or on the digital devices. That is what audio is all about. Now let us define audio in technical terms. In technical terms, audio means of sound. You know, I told you it's a representation of sound. Audio means of sound or of the reproduction of sound. That's because it is where we work. Because that is what we work with, audio. Now, I really wanted to talk about maybe like our nomenclature. That is whom we are. That is, they say sound engineer, audio engineer, something like that. But I'm going to be talking about it later. But here, the definition of audio will let you know whom we are. So as I was saying, that is audio means of sound or of the reproduction of sound. Though specifically, it refers to the range of frequencies detectable by human ears, approximately 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. I want you to note that definition very well. When you talk of audio, anytime you hear audio or you read about audio, note that it is referred to range of frequency dictated by human ear, approximately 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. That number is very, very important. Megan. So 20 Hz is the lowest pitch sound we can hear. I mean, below that, we have what we call infrasonic. And 20 kilohertz is the highest pitch we can also hear. And above that, we have what we call ultrasonic. So within 20 Hz and 20 kilohertz, we have what we call supersonic. And you can see some manufacturers of audio devices will describe their equipment as supersonic. That is why it can actually respond between 20 Hz to what? It has a full range of 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. So this range is referred to as audio frequency range. Maybe many people could have been about it. That is audio frequency range. That is the range that most of our audio equipment are made of, or they respond to majorly. Now, let us talk about sound signals. How many types of signals do we work with as an audio practitioner? Say, whenever you make a recording during audio production, you deal with at least 3 types of signals. 1, sound waves. That is the acoustic energy. Number 2, electrical signal. That is audio. Number 3, numerical value. That is digital. And you can see the 3 types of signal, they depend on each other. One cannot be without the other. There could not be electrical signal without sound wave, because it's the microphone that's going to convert sound wave into what? Into electrical signal, which is called audio. That is what we work with. And there cannot be digital signal without electrical signal, because it's not possible for you to actually convert sound wave to a digital signal. No, it has to be electronic. It has to be electrical signal first before it's converted to what? Into digital signal. So these are the 3 types of signal that we work with, and you must understand this type and how we deal with them and how our equipment also handles them. So also, to understand audio, you as a practitioner must have a grasp of 2 things. That is, you must have an understanding of 2 things. Well versed and knowledgeable about these 2 things. Number 1, sound. It is called sound waves. Later, I'll be talking about the difference between sound and sound wave. But let us look at sound wave now. What do you need to understand about sound wave? 1, its generation. How does it generate? That is, from the source. How does it generate from the source? You must have understanding and knowledge of how it generates. 2, propagation. How does it propagate? How does it travel within acoustic space, either indoor or outdoor? You must also have the knowledge of how sound propagates within acoustic space. And the last thing is perception. How do you perceive it? Now, as an audio engineering practitioner, there is a difference between hearing and perceiving. Hearing and perceiving. We don't hear, we perceive. Because perception has stages. If you hear something and you cannot interpret it, perception has not taken place. But it's perception that's taking place when you hear and you can interpret what you have heard. That is when perception has taken. That is the kind of skill that we audio engineering practitioners are supposed to have. So the first thing you have to understand about is sound wave. That is the basic principle of audio engineering. Number 2, audio equipment. Now, what do you need to know and understand about audio equipment? The first thing is that what are the different components? What different components do we have? If you look at conceptual model of a sound system, we have the input, processing, and output. There are components that are there. We can be talking about microphone, we are talking about mixing console, we're talking about processors, we're talking about effect, talking about power amplifier or loudspeaker. All these are the components that we have. The other thing is that what do they do? All these components, you must understand what they do. What is the job? What is the function of microphone? As different from the function of a mixing console, or as different from the function of power amplifier, or more or less about loudspeaker. We must know what they do. What are the functionalities about it? So also we must know how to choose the correct equipment. That is the selection of equipment. If you look at different audio equipment that we have, you can't just bump in and start looking at one. Here's a microphone. How do you select the best microphone for that signal? How do you select that loudspeaker for that acoustic space? How do you even select your mixing console for that specialized, for that audio production? So these are the things that we need to know about equipment and the audio equipment that we use. And lastly, how to use it properly. This is where operational procedure comes in. It is not enough to know the different components. It is not enough to know what they do. It is not even enough to even know how to choose the correct, but you must be able to utilize it very well. You must be able to utilize it very well. These are the things that are characteristic of our audio engineering practitioners. Yeah, thank you for listening for that. That is just a brief summary of fundamental of audio. That is our tip 1. If you need to know more or you want to register for our course, you can call any number that is on your screen now, or you just WhatsApp us to know more about what we offer as a school. Thank you very much. Until next time that we come with another tip. Thank you and God bless.